taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. In the gospel, Jesus talks about loving. He says, love your enemies. Ugh, is that a mistake? I mean, how do you love somebody who doesn't like you? Or how do you love somebody who is mean to you? Or somebody who has hurt you? Or even has wounded your heart? Don't let some hard luck hard leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance. It's so much easier to sit it out. It's so much easier just to do what everybody else does. Become cynical, bitter, resentful, grumpy. And yet, what would Jesus tell us to do? I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Now, this is the time of dancing. As you've heard, this is Mardi Gras time. We had our big Mardi Gras celebration last night, especially honoring volunteers. Some of you were there. If you weren't there, know that you are honored and you were welcome to join us. But Mardi Gras is happening all over the world. They're the days before Lent, and Ash Wednesday is coming up on Wednesday. And especially down in New Orleans, or Nolans, as they say down there. And it's a time for a lot of people to be dancing. But that song I'm singing is not so much really about dancing. It's a metaphor. Dancing meaning it's a time to do those things you usually wouldn't do. Be a little crazy. Maybe think differently. Not play it safe all the time. Or do like Jesus talked about in the gospel. Being crazy, says, when you get slapped on one cheek, turn the other one. Say, get this one also. Or giving more, even to that person who wants to gouge you already. Or when someone expects you to go 1 mile, well, go add another mile. Do that extra. This past week, I was traveling through St. Cloud. It was nighttime, evening time. And sure enough, at one of the intersections, there was a man holding a sign. He said, he's a veteran, he's homeless, please give. So, as the good pastor, I, of course, go and I'm stopped. And I reach into my wallet, and I meant to just pull out a buck. But all of a sudden, a $20 bill was in my hands. And I'm looking at him, looking at the 20, and thinking, what if he's a con man? What if he's going to use this on drugs or alcohol? Well, Pope Francis was asked that very question a couple years ago in an interview. His response, give something. Every time. No exceptions. And give with compassion and warmth and with eye contact. And then the interviewer says, well, what if that person's going to use it to buy wine? And Pope Francis says, if a glass of wine is the only happiness he has in life, that's okay. Instead, ask yourself, what do you do on the sly? What happiness do you seek in secret? You see, too often we are only kind to other people who are kind to us. We're only nice to someone else who seems nice. But Jesus is saying, if you really want to be one of my followers, dance. I hope you dance. Meaning, be crazy when the world is telling you to be sane. Give even when you think you don't have anything to give. Laugh, even when you are in pain. Anybody can be nice to nice people. You can be courteous to courteous people, lovely to lovely people. That's what Jesus talks about. But to give, the book of Tobit from the Old Testament, chapter 4 says, give alms from your possessions. Do not turn your face away from any of the poor, so that God's face will not be turned away from you. Give in proportion to what you own. If you have great wealth, give alms out of your abundance. If you have but little, do not be afraid to give even of that little. Almsgiving is a worthy offering in the sight of God. And it keeps one from entering into darkness. So much of the world stays in darkness. That is only thinking of themselves. That me mentality. The whole idea that I just want to be fair. I mean, I earned this, it's mine. They should just earn it themselves and go get a job. Or they say if they have a miserable life and they're poor, well, that's their own fault. And then St. Paul says in the second reading, you just heard, you are the dwelling of God. Or as St. Teresa of Avila says, Christ has no other hands but yours. Christ has no other voice or heart or feet or body but yours. Paul goes on to write, you just heard it. Don't deceive yourself. Become a fool so as to become wise. The wisdom of this world is foolishness in the eyes of God. It's like God is offering you a course on how to be happy. How to be your fullest self. How to come out of the darkness. How to be Christ-like. And you can hang on to your money, your wealth, your talent, your time. And that's another technique to try to get happy. But you got to ask yourself, if you find yourself so frugal and the money you have is just like, no, I just got to spend it on myself or my family or my retirement. That's how I'm going to be happy. Yeah, how's that working for you? Or if you have not yet stepped up to volunteer for anything like church stuff, and you say, I just don't have the time. I'm so busy with this and this and this, and let somebody else do it. How's that going for you? Or if you're one of those that complains about the world, that the world is so needy and everybody's just thinking of themselves and nobody's willing to help somebody else. How's that attitude going for you? Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change that you wish to see in the world. So back at my intersection in St. Cloud, I'm holding my $20. I gave it to him. Not because he's worthy, not because he deserved it, but because I deserve to be happy. I deserve to come out of the darkness and be crazy, be foolish, be Christ-like, as Paul talks about. As you all do. To go and trust God. To go and treat others with respect and kindness. And I hope you never lose your sense you're filled to eat, but always keep your hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever keep you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. When you get the joy